Record. Okay, so we're recording. All right, guys. So I just wanted to go over a few things with you. So I quickly did up a PowerPoint, and I'm going to share that with you so we can just go through some stuff. I know some of you were on the call last night with Charlotte, so that's awesome. And she had a lot to share about Bahamas and everything, so that was great. If you haven't had a chance to look at that, just go back and have a look at that. The recording is up for that. All right. Okay. Everyone see that okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right. So, yeah. So basically said that first point. So we even had people discussing about what the value was in going to the Bahamas trip, and I mentioned that, you know, and a few people mentioned that our partners were more open to the business after being a part of it. It was great to socialise with the team and other team members, not just the Aussie team, like the other team members, and speak to elites. And like Kim introduced me to Brandon, so that was great because I had been watching a lot of his stuff. And it was a holiday. There was minimal commitment to attend events, but, you know, why wouldn't you want to? Because it's a great way to network. So it really was a reward, and we were very spoiled by the company, so it was pretty awesome. So that's just a little bit. And then Charlotte also went through some information that came out of the elite meetings that we had there. So that was really interesting statistics too. That was I just thought I'd quickly put a little snippet together of pictures from our week away. So we had a really good time. It was great. Lots of learning, lots of resting. I didn't post any nudes, Dave. Thanks. Yeah. And
did you take any?
No,
Seriously?
he did not take any. Little shit he is.
Gino.
Maybe he did while I was sleeping. Not that I was aware of. Anyway, I'm recording this, so be quiet. All right, so that I just thought I'd put together a little snippet of a snapshot of how it went. But what I wanted to come to you today was just talking about moving forward with our team, because we seem to have found a bit of a lull in our team, and I think we need to get a bit of our mojo back. So I've been thinking and talking to others whilst I was away and how to kind of ramp ourselves up again. So we did mention about doing these monthly team meetings for us, and I'm thinking at the beginning of each month. Obviously we're in the middle of the month now, but that's just because of Bahamas and everything. So going forward, what I'd like to do is have one of these meetings at the beginning of every month, so that we can, you know, get ourselves moving forward, thinking about what our goals are, so that we can all be there supporting each other, and, you know, try and achieve those goals that we set. The other thing that was important, and Kim, if you want to jump in here, because you brought this up as well when we were away, when we were having a chat, you know, it's great that you rank advance and that you make those ranks, but the important thing is to maintain that rank. So, for example, if you're a Pro 3, you need to try to be maintaining being paid as a Pro 3 every month. Okay, that's how you're going to build that basis of a consistent business base. All right, and basically that's all based on your customers and your you know, customers ordering every month. Okay, so, you know, if we make it to Pro 4, and that's a hard thing to keep consistent. Like I've dropped back to Pro 3. I managed to keep Pro 4 for about 5 or 6 months, and then with Christmas and everything, it's dropped back to Pro 3. But I've been consistently keeping that Pro 3. So if you drop right back, you need to think about how you're going to get back to maintaining that paid rank. Kim, did you want to add anything to that?
Sorry, I was just half dealing with her.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, no, just don't get demotivated. I think I didn't listen to everything you just said, but don't get demotivated by the fact that a lot of you guys have ranked on packs. Like I'm a Pro 5 because I ranked on packs, and I've literally only been a Pro 5 like probably 2 or 3 months out of 2 years. Yes, I'm a Pro 5 and that's already awesome and has great privileges and blah, blah, blah. But the reality is I've got a stable Pro 4 business. So the quicker I can get back to being paid as Pro 5, the better. But don't let it get you down, because sometimes when you just start off with, and you guys have hit the ground running, so a lot of you guys have ranked really quickly through packs, which is great because it gets you that status and rank and motivation. But don't let it then demotivate you if you end up with a stable Pro 2. But then just work as hard as you can to get yourself back to the paid as Pro 3 as quick as you can, because for, you know, as humans, it is demotivating when you like, it sucks that I'm a Pro 4 when I'm a Pro 5, but I'm not going to let it hold me back and make it worse. I'm just going to keep working on building. So, you know, my goals are just to get closer to paid as Pro 5 each month. So set your goals appropriate to yourself and your level of activity. But if you can maintain, it's even better. You know, because it kind of, if you use it to drive you to maintain and you can do it, it's just going to grow your business so much faster. But if, you know, I mean, if someone signs up 5 platinums in their first month, they're going to be a Pro 3.
Straight away.
Unless they sign up 5 platinums in month 2, they're going to maintain Pro 3, because in reality is those 5 people will order 1 Pro tandem each. So you've got to work out for yourself, you know, how you got there and why you got there and how you're going to then start building up, and then work out what you're comfortable with. But just don't let it be a demotivator. That was my concern with any of us where we rank advanced on packs, because you really want to rank advanced as quick as you can, especially when there's money on the table and incentive trips. But I'd hate to see a whole team fall over because they rank advanced too quickly and then fell back. So, you know, getting your own headspace around what your stable business is, what your goals are. And I think what's important there is aiming to keep your rank, but more importantly, set your goals for the month for you. So even if Charlotte's saying maintain rank, or Sandra's saying, you know, see if you can stay at Pro 3, if you're going, well, no, you know, my stable business is 1,200 points. I would like to this month achieve $1,800 points stable. I want to enroll 5. Like, set your goals and then try and stick to your goals and try and achieve those for yourself, even if you want those with us. But obviously we're going to say, because as leaders, you know, try and maintain your rank, because the quicker you can maintain that Pro 3, that pace setter thing, we're not using it, you know, and you guys can all be pace setters. And privileges that are associated with that will be amazing. I don't even know what they are at the moment, but I know that they're going to be great. And then there's things like this manly incentive and all that sort of thing. So just keep pushing. But as someone who does work full time and have stuff going on, the other reality is listen to the pushing, take it to the point to encourage you, but then also decide what your you know, Rachel did a great call the other day on what's your minimum standard. So like Rachel and Tara, you know, have this minimum of they will sign up 1 distributor a month. That's their minimum. Decide what your minimum is, and then try and stick to it and measure yourself against your own minimum. I don't know if you had in mind, but there you go.
Thanks, Kim. So, you know, like Kim said, we would have rank advanced to those numbers using packs. So then it's about maintaining it through consistent customers reordering. And then my next point, which is similar to what Kim said, I just wrote, you know, think about what rank you want to get to or what rank you want to maintain. So, but build upon that each month, you know, so it might take you 6 months to get to Pro 4 or to Pro 5, but you're slowly building on that each month. So it doesn't seem, and that's something I've learnt in the last, you know, 6 months, is that it's impossible to think, okay, I'm going to go now from, you know, I'm maintaining Pro 3 to a Pro 5 next month. It's just not possible unless I get an influx of, you know, 10 or so distributors that want to join my business. So it's more realistic to think of, if I just grow a little bit each month, then eventually I'm going to hit those ranks that I want. Okay, so sometimes we need to take a bit of a step back.
If I can jump in again, you know, Rachel did a talk to the Aussie team when we were in the Bahamas, and you know what she said was just, you know, you're 1 distributor away from success. You're just trying to find your next distributor. So, you know, you want to set your goals going, I want to be a Pro 10. But you've got to break that down to go, what if I rank advance? And I think there was a call the other day that she did as well. I want to rank advance once a year. You know, I might be a pro 4 now and go, I want to be a pro 5 by the end of the year. And then next year I want to be a pro 6, the next year a pro 7. That way in 5 years I'm a pro 10. But you've got to focus on the big goal, but then break it down. But really focus on the next distributor. I want to find my next distributor. I want to find my next customer, and break it down because you're only one customer, one distributor away from the next big thing, because you only need every single millionaire I've met in the business, when they talk about how many distributors are working their business and basically making them rich, it always comes down to 3 to 5 distributors that are actually working in their business. So you're only that one distributor away because you're looking for that one magical distributor, but focus just on that next customer, that next distributor, with your overall targets of how many you want to get for the month. So you want to make your activity match what your goals are, but just, you know, little goals, and celebrate the wins.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, really important to set your goals and what works for you, because most of us are all doing this as a side gig. You know, we're all either working full-time or working part-time and doing this part-time, you know, so life is busy for everybody. How do we do it? You've heard this before, you know, your daily methods of operations, consistently doing things at least 4 times a week, schedule it in, you know, set time aside, you know, if it means you get up an hour earlier and do it. And I mean, this is your choice to do this. No one's going to make you do it. It's up to you what you want to do with this business and where you want it to go. And I'm here to support you in whatever your decision is. And there's no right or wrong. But yes, schedule it in. Be intentional about what you want to do. Invite people to look at things every day. At least 3 to 4 people need to look at your business or look at your product 3 to 4 times a day. Make new friends, share presentations. So whether it's a one-on-one or going to opportunity meetings or in homes or 3-way calls, which none of us use enough of, I don't. You know, that is a presentation. Sending links to people, information, coffee catch-ups. Posting on social media is really important. Now, I know that is not for everybody. It doesn't have to be Facebook. It could be Instagram. It could be LinkedIn, whatever it is. But that is something, I don't know if you watched, I posted before Bahamas a video that Rachel did saying that this is we need to come up with the times if you're struggling with doing the social media thing, because this is a big market that's untapped out there, and it's a whole chunk of people that you can't get to. You know, you can sit down with people and talk with people, but you're going to reach a lot more people through social media rather than one-on-one or waiting to meet people. Yeah, so you've just got to be consistent. And, you know, I keep hearing every time I want to give up and I'm like struggling, because believe me, I get like that too. And it's just part of the process. I just remind myself, you know, why am I doing this? Just keep going, keep doing those daily consistent actions, and it'll fall into place, you know, and believe that if this is what you want, then it's going to happen. So I had some ideas, and I'm happy to, you know, discuss these and bounce these around, but I'm thinking of, you know, having at least twice a month 2 in-home launches that are just set, you know, whether it's the 2nd and 4th of each month or whatever, and we can have it here or we can share it around the group. It doesn't really matter, and bring people to it. And I'm including Kim in this too, because she's feeling quite isolated in Newcastle up there, no one really to play with. So I was talking to her a little bit about this whilst we were away, and, you know, she could come down once a month as well. And even if we don't have anyone come, it can be a time for us as a team to get together, to talk, to strategize, you know, team build, lift each other up when we feel like I've fucking had enough of this shit. I don't want to do it anymore, you know, like, and we all get like that. But, you know, someone might be having an awesome week, and speaking to that team member at that time might be just what you need just to keep you in the game that little bit longer. And it's, what's that saying? You know, the magic is about to happen just before you're going to quit, or something like that. I can't think of what the wording of it, but you know, it's there. Like I can taste it, but it's just not there yet. So, you know, my passion is to reach as many people as I can, and I can't do it by myself. So I need my team to do it and help me with it. And, you know, you guys have your own dreams and visions and goals of what you want to achieve. And I just want to remind you about that. When you are feeling like it's getting hard, go back to getting that fire in your belly. What are your dreams? Why did you start doing this in the first place? Go back and refocus on those goals, because that's what's going to keep you in the game for longer when you feel like, you know, that you've had enough. So yeah, so that's what I was wanting to put out there, that I think the more that we stick together and work together and help each other and have that support, the further that we're going to get. Anyone have anything they want to say in terms of that, or have any ideas to add to that? No? Okay. So, you know, basically I'm asking you, make a decision to commit to your goal, whatever that is for you. You know, whether it's, you know, your monthly goal, where you want to be in 5 years, you know, how many customers you want to get in your business a month. And the other thing about customers, don't discredit them, because a lot of the time it's your customers that will turn into distributors. So focus on getting customers more so than distributors, and build that good base. Okay, I'm not saying don't lead with the business, still lead with the business, but if that is not an option for that person at that time, offer them come in as a customer, see what you think of the product, and go from there. Okay, so you're not closing the door completely to that option. And yeah, and building that customer base is really important. The other thing, you know, you've got to get to events. You've got to be active and get on team training. As you know, I know that sometimes it's difficult and people have things on and life is busy, and I get that. Believe me, I really do get that. But you want to have presence. You want to have a face in the team. You need to show your face, literally. Okay.
I'll add to that as well, Sandra. Like, you know, I turn up to training every week unless I have absolutely something else on. And obviously, like if you're at uni or you're out, you can't be. And it's not always because I need to be on training. It's because leaders turn up to training. So leaders go to events. So every event I go to, I don't miss many, because I have in my head this little voice in my head that goes, leaders turn up to events. Do you want to be a leader? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I do. I better go then. Yep. So, you know, when you can make it. Partly because, you always learn something. But when you've got team members following you, it means a lot to them to see you there. Yeah. Events, get to Mark Gordon. I don't know if you guys have probably all seen his videos. He's amazing. It's going to be so good. And you guys are in Sydney, so you can actually bring people if you can. Utilize them. Start promoting more. On the customer thing, we need to, as a team, find a way that we can actually educate customers. So I'm actually in the process of buying a Kangen water filter system, to sidetrack a bit. It's like a $5,600 water system. And like, I wanted one for ages. I hadn't had the sales pitch. You know, I've got onto this guy, the girl did the three-way call, and his sales pitch was brilliant, because I said to him from a business perspective, I said, I get the system's great and I want it and you're going to make a commission. But I said, how do you make your money as a business? Because you're not going to get 3 sales from it. It's a $6,000 system. I'm not going to buy another one tomorrow. And how do you know, he's making a lot of money because, and what I loved about what he said was, when someone asks him the price, he has this whole, I need to get him to quote it, discussion on, you can't make a decision based on price. You need to put some value on it. Let me educate you. And then he gets them to watch 2 or 3 hours worth of videos on the product. Because once you watch the videos on the product, it's like blows your mind and you want one, and then you want the Porsche. You don't just want the basic one. But his whole thing is about educating people to improve their life, that lands up with him having a sale where people actually choose to spend $6,000 above a system that's supposedly competitive for 600. So we need to find a way, and I'm open to ideas here because a lot of my customers drop off because they're not educated. We can find ways to actually engage and educate our customers.
Yeah.
They will either become distributors or at least stay on as customers, so that we're not constantly, because to be honest, in the business from me down, we've been ticking over at like 209, then we got to 211 auto ships, back to 208, back to 211. Like the auto ships in my business hasn't grown over the last probably 4 or 5 months, and we're enrolling probably 20 to 35 a month. So people are dropping off, and I think it's that education thing of trying to actually let people see value in the product. So if we can use those, if we have a get together and we can do a presentation and then have training either during or after, depending if people turn up, think of ways we can actually, let's do a customer education event, just to, I don't know, if we put on champagne and nibbles, I don't know, something, and get our customers, let's get them hooked on the product, that they actually believe why they need to stay on it. Because I would rather have a stable Pro 7 customer-based business than a Pro 7 business based on a whole lot of packs of distributors that may or may not stay in the business.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to rant off on the side. And it's, I'm going to talk to that guy that's trying to sell me the system and ask him for those words, because they were brilliant. I was like, no wonder you're doing well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, no, you're absolutely right. Like, and Charlotte mentioned it last night too, keep in contact with your customers. If you're noticing that your customers are starting to drop off a lot, then go back, revisit them. Don't just get them on the product and then forget, I'm getting an upgrade. No, stay with 3, thank you. And forget about them. How are you going? If you haven't spoken to them in a few weeks or months, contact them. How's it going? How are you finding it? They need to be made to feel important, and you have to work out a system that works for you. For me, I just go through my book of customers, and I haven't spoken to this person for a while. I'm going to send them a message. And I also have a Facebook page just for my customers, which I post information in. And because it's not as full and as busy as Activate, they tend to see the information more. Okay, because they might miss it in the bigger group. And I know some of you have got your own client base, but educating them and getting them to fall in love with the product is definitely key.
And let's share ideas on that, because I think most of us, like I started off with a lot of customers, and most of you guys hit the ground running. So most of your team, or this team, particularly in Sydney, got lots of customers, lots of distributors quickly. And so I feel almost overwhelmed by the number of customers I initially signed up. So I'm like, how can I possibly keep in touch with 100 customers?
Yeah.
Well, and guess what? I don't have 100 customers anymore. I don't even want to admit how many I do have left of those 100. But they've dropped, and you guys have the same kind of risk because you hit the ground running, which is great. But we've got to somehow find a way to not lose touch with those people. And I don't have the answer or the system yet. Otherwise, I'd have followed up.
Yeah.
That'd be great if we share ideas on that as well, and what systems work for keeping that contact and following up. And
like we could just have a brainstorming thing, where we get on and brainstorm some ideas, or even put them in the thread if you come up with an idea that's really something that might work.
Following up prospects, because to be honest, people forget. Like I've had people I've spoken to by pretending from someone else. And I'm like, how could they do that? I spoke to them first. But you know what? I had someone talk to me about this Kangen water system about a year ago when I first looked at it. I had 2 people actually send me information. I cannot remember who they were. I know the one was from Queensland and I know one was from Sydney. And I now want to buy one. I'm about to buy one, and I'm pretty much going with somebody brand new because I cannot find the person. And it's not that I am not even trying to do the right thing, but most people don't live and breathe network marketing. So if we don't stay in touch with them, when they're actually ready to make the decision, they go, I can't remember who added me to this page. I'll just buy from someone else. So then, like, if you've got a great follow-up system of how to, because tracking your leads, like Charlotte used Messenger. If you're messaging 400 people, I'm like, how does Messenger work for that? So if anyone's got ideas, like all of us could probably benefit from that. So
I use Messenger as well, but it's hard to keep track of it, and you've got to follow them up. Like I've been sitting here thinking, oh, gee, I haven't followed up with that person and that person and that person. So I need to go back and do that. But anyway, so I just wrote on my next point is, you know, and I mentioned this earlier, everyone is time poor. Okay, we're all chasing our tails. But I guess bottom line is, and you know, if you think this is a priority for you, then it will be a part of your top thing to do. And if it's not, that's okay too. Just let me know so that I know we're all on the same page and I'm not kind of, you know, trying to drag you if this is not what you want. I'll walk with the walkers, I'll run with the runners. But, you know, if this is a priority for you, then you'll make it happen. It's like with everything. If it's a priority for you, it'll happen. What have I got? Where's my... Okay. So my question is, are you willing to commit to achieving your goals and dreams and think about what they are? And, you know, LifeVantage can be that vehicle for you, okay? It's not just about our amazing product and what it does for us and what it can do for other people, but you might have bigger dreams and goals and what you want to do, and this is a vehicle that can help you achieve that. And one thing I learnt from, what's that amazing man that mental blank. Myra, what's his name, where we met? Who we went to see. Can't think of his name.
Simon Chan?
No. From ICE. Well, he works with ISA. I've had a mental blank.
David Woods.
Thank you, David Woods. He and it always sticks with me. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So in other words, if you show up to some things and don't show up to another things, well, that's how your business is going to be as well. So think about that. It's a tough one to admit to, but if you're not pulling your weight in certain things, then that's how it's going to show up in other areas of your life. And just final thoughts, empower belief in yourself every day. Nothing is more dangerous than a limiting belief, and be grateful every day as well. And I think if you do those things on a daily basis, you'll keep getting one step closer to your goal, you know. So I'm just going to stop. That's my end of my... Beautiful. All right.
Can I tell you what's really exciting with LifeVantage? I've gone through a bit of a slow phase for a while, and for the first time in my whole network marketing career, I've actually figured out how some people can actually do nothing, because I've always done tons every night. Like I've just had, since I started even with eyesight, I didn't stop, and then I transitioned to LifeVantage and I didn't stop. And I'm like, you know, you do the do. You sit down every night and you talk to people and you connect with people, and that's what you do. Probably the last couple of months I've been a little bit more family focused and gotten out of that, and now I'm like, what do I do? I've got time set aside. How do I start connecting with people? And you start again. But I mean, Charlotte was saying, you know, in their rooms at the resort, they had TVs in the bathroom because they were like elites. So why you need a TV, I have no idea, but they did. So she watched a lot of American TV, you know, just in the background. They are getting ahead of us with biohacking. Biohacking is becoming a thing that's starting to be mentioned on TV. It's starting to be it's becoming what people hear about and know about. So just keep planting those seeds, even if you do go slow. If you're in a season where you go, you know what, I'm not going to run. I'm just going to stay in the game, just stay tapping away. Or whether you keep running, keep those contacts going, because this is going to be huge. Australia is so far behind America in the biohacking space that all those seeds we plant now, as soon as biohacking and nutrigenomics become something that they see on TV, they're going to go, that's what Sandra was talking about. I get it now. And if we can stay in those people's lives, when they actually get it, yeah, we'll be the ones to buy firsthand from. So it might be a year away. It might be 5 years away. I don't know how quickly the storm's going to hit. But what's encouraging me to stay in the game, other than I just don't know what else to do with myself, is like, what would I do at night? Watch TV? Like, seriously? So the wave is going to come, and I have major FOMO. I do not want to miss the wave. So I'm, you know, even if I sit here and go and find someone to connect to, or, you know, sort of really struggle with what I'm doing with my daily DMO things, is I don't want to miss that wave. So I'm going to stay in the game because it's going to come. And if we're in LifeVantage, who's the leader and at the forefront of nutrigenomics, we're going to ride that wave on some form, because we are ahead of the game. So just do whatever you need to do to keep yourself tapped in. Talk to us about where you're at with it, how much help you need, how much, you know, because we can nag and motivate you till we blue in the face if we want to. And if you want us to, or we can give you space if you want space, because it's really up to you. But stay in the game for yourself, because it's going to happen, and it's going to be so big when it happens, because it's becoming so commonplace in America, which means it's going to become commonplace here. People will get it. You know, this whole biohacking thing is so much bigger than just us.
Yeah.
But it's a space that people will start hearing about and understanding. And we've got, you know, I'm talking to chiropractors and cardiologists and stuff. We've got the credibility. We've just got to find the right angle.
Yeah.
And it's going to be massive.
Awesome.
Imagine being a pro 10. Imagine earning 80 grand a month.
Yay.
Tara Wilson's money, 50 grand a month, whatever she's on. I don't know what she earns. I'm just guessing. That would be so awesome.
All right, guys, I won't keep you too much longer. So what I'll do is I'll put up some proposed dates, and we can go from there about launches and things like that. And please, if you want to touch base with myself or Kim, you know, in a private message or what have you, about where you're at right now, so we know how to support you, feel free to do that. All righty. Thank you for jumping on, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
bye.
Yeah.
Bye.